Let's go over my tier list for the top coach abilities in college football 25. If y'all enjoying the content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, man. I got a bunch of different things going on the channel. The Temple rebuild, check that out. We also just started a University of New Haven rebuild, a live streaming series, so go check out my Twitch, go follow that. We're going crazy. All right, so I just want to quickly explain what this tier list will be, man. So we're in here on the Temple University file. Go check out the series. We got Coach J. Will in the top right corner. You see he's a level 28 head coach, and we're in year 4 at this point, man. So what we're actually putting into a tier list are going to be the 3 pretty much categories or options you could start off with, man. So recruiter, tactician, and then motivator. For this video, these are going to be the only ones we're going to put into a list because they're the only ones easily to obtain. If y'all want to see the rest of the coach abilities in the list, let me know and I'll make that. But look here, man, we're in year 4, like I said, year 4, and we're not even close to unlocking, you know, the talent developer. Haven't had any players drafted in the top first round. This one we're not close for as well, man. We only played one rivalry game and we won it. And then also down here, we're not close. We haven't won any bowl games. So we're not even close to unlocking some of these other abilities. So we're not even going to grade them because they're not super easy to get, man. So this is what we are grading, man. We're going to do these tiers right here. We're going to do pretty much the basic tier for all of these: recruiter, tactician, and then master motivator. Let's get into the list. Alright, so we got the same exact tier list as the other videos. First of all, y'all like those other videos. If y'all like this one, let me know what tier list I should do next, man. I like making these too, man. So just let me know. But we got great, good, mediocre, and no, man. No, that ability not worth it. That ability is not good. So we got the no category. And we're going to go ahead and start in the recruiter archetype. One thing we need to keep in mind, man. So for right here, tier 1, quarterbacks take less time to scout, man. That's going to be in the great category. That is a great option, but it's even better when you use it for like the O-line, you know, because you have 5 people on the O-line that you know, 5 starters. You're probably going to recruit a lot more O-linemen than you are quarterbacks, man. You probably want to recruit 1 quarterback, maybe 2 quarterbacks a cycle. O-linemen, you might be bringing in 6, 7, you know, 8 O-linemen in a cycle. So having that, you know, ability at any position where it's a lot more people you're actually going to scout is super useful. So just keep that in mind as well, man. Next, we have recruiting actions have a bigger impact on quarterbacks. I think my whole issue, this is the tier 2 ability for recruiter. I think my whole issue with this one, we don't know what that impact actually is, man. We don't see it. You know, it's just, you know, the ability says what it says, and you just have to, you know, hope that's what it's doing. So you don't really see how big of an action it's actually doing. And for me personally, I never feel the difference, man. I don't feel the difference when I have this ability or when I don't. So I'm going to put it in the mediocre category just because, you know, I need some more representation. I need a visual actually showing me, you know, the boost from when we don't have it to when we do have it. Next, we have always be recruiting. That's going to be the tier 3 ability. And it's another great one, man. This is another great one, man. Being able to increase your hours for each recruit, that's crucial, man. That's a game changer for for pretty much recruiting in general, man. Being able to put in 65, 75 hours on a recruit compared to 50, especially when you consider when you put the hard sell on, and then you could also put the extra 25 hours on, I believe, contact family and friends. And bro, that's super helpful, super helpful. Lastly, the tier 4 when it comes to the recruiter, and I'm also going to put this in the mediocre category, man. Increased interest from starting quarterbacks. I feel like I said, I don't notice the difference from this, and I really want to feel this difference in the transfer portal, man. That is where I really need this difference, because sometimes you go into the transfer portal, you need to bring in a quarterback. You may have no quarterbacks interested in your program, man, in the transfer portal. Real life, that never happens, man. You can always bring in some transfer. But in this game, you go into the transfer portal, you might need a running back. You may have no running backs interested in your school in the transfer portal. Every year is different. The transfer portal is super random. But I'm going to put this in the mediocre category because I feel like even when I have this ability on, I go in the transfer portal looking for a quarterback. Sometimes I'll have none interested in me. And that's, man, I can't have that, man. I cannot have that. All right, next, let's move over to the tactician. This is going to be the tier 1, tier 2, and the tier 3 version of the tactician, and this is going to be for each position group, and we're going to put all 3 of these first 3 tiers into the good category because they're good, man. For every pretty much position, they're going to boost a little bit something different, but it's all going to be very useful, man. It's going to make your players a little bit better. Listen, I always think the tactician a little bit cheating, man. You're able to make your players a little bit better overall. So if you maxed out the tactician, you are making your team a lot better. They're going to play a lot better than they're supposed to. So all of these are in the good category, man. Tactician, like I said, it's a little bit cheating in my opinion. So I don't use it. I try not to use it too much. Now, the Tier 4 version of the Tactician is where we're going to put in the great category, man. For the Tier 4 version, for every position group, it's going to boost pretty much their most important stats. So, for quarterbacks, short and medium throw accuracy. You can argue those are the most important stats when it comes to the quarterback. For linebackers, it's going to be tackling. So, different things like that, man. It's going to boost the most important attribute, that Tier 4. So, we're going to put that in the great category. The other three will be in the good category. And also in the Tactician, I think people forget about the cross-training, man. I think people forget about it. And it's pretty much two different versions of the cross trainings, you know, O-line and then also cornerbacks to wide receivers to cornerbacks. And we're going to I pretty much grouped them all together. We're going to put them all in the null category. And it's not because of, you know, a player can't go two ways. It's because of the game mechanics, man. Like, they poorly did the way two-way players work this year, and it's sad to see, especially when you have a player like Travis Hunter, who is actually a two-way player. So me personally, when I play the game, I want to find a two-way player, but it just does not work out in the game because the stats do not transfer over. So if you have a two-way player, they playing offense and defense, whatever side of the ball you have them actually on, if they're at wide receiver, you will never be able to see their cornerback stats if you have them starting at cornerback as well. And then also, they won't upgrade at cornerback. They'll only upgrade as a wide receiver. So, like, having a cross-athlete player, like, playing both ways, it just don't work in this game, man. I blame EA for not thinking through it and actually making it work. They should have dropped the patch at this point to really make it work, but I don't think it's high on their priority list. So for those reasons, I'm going to put these two abilities in the null category, man, because it's just no point to use it if you can't even see their stats and you can't even see their impact. All right, next, let's talk about Motivator, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4. Tier 1, you get the bonus whenever that position is drafted in the first 3 rounds. And as a small school, that's difficult, man. You may not have a player drafted in the first 3 rounds as a small school until your 4th, 5th year at times. So it's difficult, man. So having this as the Tier 1, it don't make sense to me, man. It's going in the null category for me personally. Because like I said, we're in my 4th season here at Temple, and we might have had one player go top 3 rounds, maybe. The more I think about it, I don't think so. I don't think the highest rated player we had was a transfer. And, you know, he went to get drafted, but I don't think it was the top 3 rounds. So in 4 years, we'd never had, you know, this Tier 1 ability even be useful for us. At least this Tier 2 ability, you know, quarterbacks stay hot throughout timeouts, quarter changes, all that. For me personally, is also going in the null category. I know they said they boost, you know, staying hot and also being cold. I don't see it, man. I don't see the difference when a player is hot or cold. I need to show in the ratings, man. When a player is hot, I need to be able to go to the depth chart. And when I go to the depth chart, I see how much their ratings are actually boosted by. Like, is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 7? Like, is it plus? Like, I don't know what it is. So for that reason, it's in the null category because I don't know what I'm getting, man. I need more information, not less. Now, when it comes to the Tier 3 for, you know, for the motivator, it boosts that player or that position off-season training. Listen, another thing, I need more information, but we're going to put it in the good category. But when I say I need more information, I want to know how much of a boost I'm actually getting, man. Like, is it a 5%? Is it a 2%? Like, I need to know what I'm getting. So when you tell me, you know, getting the off-season training boost, I don't know how big, how small. So it's going in the good category because that at least is useful, and that's one of the only ways to actually boost off-season training. Off-season training is very random, so having that is good. Now, when it comes to the Tier 4, quarterbacks or any position start the 4th quarter hot in close games, that is also going in the null category, man. It's going in the null category because being hot, I just don't know how much it's impacting us. And then if they start hot, if you throw, you know, if you have one bad drive, well, that hotness is gone immediately. So in my opinion, not super useful as far as the motivator. Only way I'm going into the motivator is for that Tier 3 ability, me personally. That's the only way I'm going into it. All right, lastly, let's go ahead and pit each pretty much archetype on this list, man. So we got recruiter, tactician, and motivator. Now for motivator, me personally, I'm going to put it in the mediocre category. It very well could be in the null category. It very well could be. But just because of this tier 3 boost when you get that off-season training, listen, that's pretty much one of the only ways to easily boost your off-season training without actually, going into the program building and all that. So I really do value that, man. I really do value that tier 3. I just wish I knew how much the boost was. So for that reason, we're going to put the motivator in the mediocre category. When it comes to tactician, like I said, I think it's a little bit cheesy. I think it's a little bit cheesy personally, but it's still great, man. It is a great way to boost your roster, man. If you're a good team, go into tactician, and it's going to put your team way over the edge. But personally, I like like I said, I don't go into the tactician too much. Now, we're going to put recruiter number 1 as, pretty much the best. And I think part of it is recruiter is fun, man. Recruiting is fun. This is why you got the game. This is why we waited 10 years is to recruit top talent. So having this ability help you recruit, bring in a lot of athletes. Listen, I think it's very helpful. I also think it's fun, man. We got to add in the fun aspect. So, yeah, definitely putting that recruiter as number 1. Y'all let me know what should change, man. What is in the wrong spot? Let me know how y'all feel about this list. And also let me know what y'all want to see next as far as the tier list. Man, if y'all made it this far in the video, I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Like I said, check out the Temple series. Go subscribe or go follow my Twitch, man. We streaming every day doing our New Haven rebuild. Also follow me on social media. Also, we're doing an online Dynasty. Go follow my Instagram, Twitter, and DM me that you want to be a part of it. We do have some more spots left, so go ahead and tap in. But we out of here.